welcome back to Harmony Yoga. Today we're going to start out our practice right away in Child's Pose. So go ahead and take your knees as wide apart as your sticky mat and let yourself come to rest in Child's Pose. Depending upon what kind of day you've had, or if this is morning for you, what kind of night's sleep you've had, this might be a nice gift for you to release your energy into the earth. Taking a couple breaths here, letting your belly rest between your thighs. Your arms can be stretched out in front, or your forearms can be bent and stacked, and place your forehead on your forearms. Exhale, release. Finding a position here that's comfortable for you to take 2 more deep breaths. So situating yourself here if you need to. On the next inhale, curl the toes under, come up to all fours. Raise your head into cow pose, and then release the head, scoop the tailbone for cat pose. Spreading the fingers wide, pressing actively down through the arm, but then drawing that energy back up the arm. So we're not released down into the earth. Go ahead and do that a few more breaths here. Lifting the head and then hugging the shoulder blades onto the back. Exhaling, lifting the belly up toward the sky. Become present in this moment so you leave all else behind. Now come to a flat back and just move your hips side to side. Rooting down into the hands, curling the toes under. Good. Keeping the left foot just as it is, reach the right toes back, stretching through the back of the right leg. And then bring that leg hip height. Draw the belly button up toward the spine and really press down through your right arm as you reach the left arm forward. One more time. Inhale, lifting up and away from the floor. Lift your right leg a little higher. Hip height, push through the heel. One more round of breath here. Good. Exhale, release the left hand down, take the right foot out to the left, turn and look over the left shoulder, opening your body and expressing our innate goodness. Excuse me. Excuse me. Come back to all fours. This time take your right toes under, left foot back, toes curled under on the ground. Pushing your hands away from you, straightening the back leg, and then come forward onto the left hand, lift the left leg, then reach the right arm forward. Inhaling up and away from the floor. So you feel yourself firmly committed, pushing down, lifting up, reach the right hand down to the mat, place the left foot over to the right side and turn and look over the right shoulder. Again, allowing this posture to help open and release. We're not over-efforting here. We're just exploring the boundaries of the day, or maybe there's some old patterns here we're starting to explore. Good. Come back to all fours. Walk the hands forward, one hand's length to downward facing dog. And curl the toes under, reaching up here to down dog. Bending one leg and then the other. So again, we're exploring here without over-efforting or working too hard. Inhaling one leg. Exhaling the other leg. Go back and forth here one more time. Just when you didn't think you needed to practice yoga, you get into this posture and go, oh, wow, there's some tight places there. Moving the hips back and a little over to one side. Let's go one more time each way. pushing the hands away from you so the hips can move back. Good, and then coming back to your child's pose. Curling the toes under one more time, down dog. Bringing the right foot forward, move your hips side to side. Bring your right hand to your right knee. Turn and look over the right shoulder by pushing down into the left hand. Scoop your outer right hip under. You can stay right here or reach your right arm up to the sky. Push down through the right heel. Yeah, reach back to down dog. So now bend both knees, push into both hands, take your hips back, reach your hips a little higher. And then take the right foot up between your hand, even helping it get there if you need to. Come on, so left foot forward now. Right hand is on the fingertips, left hand to the left knee, bending so the knee is right over the ankle, and then turn and look over the left shoulder. The right thigh is engaged and lifted. Nice job. Staying here, or take your left arm up to the sky. Press through the left heel. Look down to the left foot, reach the left hand down, step the right foot forward, come into your first forward fold here. Again, we're going to explore bending one leg and then the other. Just awakening the back of the legs, maybe up into the hips, maybe even lower legs if you're tight. Keeping the knees bent if that's too much, or just noticing where you're feeling this as you pedal your legs here. Inhale, push down, reach all the way up to the sky, and exhale, release down. Do that one more time now. Inhale, lift all the way up to the sky. Exhale, come down to your forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. And exhale down. Step both feet back to down dog here. Again, pedaling through, waking up the hamstrings. Keeping the hands firm on the mat. Hug the shoulder blades together on the back now. Reaching both hips up and heels down. Release the weight of the head. Let the head become traction for the spine. Push your hands away from you here. Hug the shoulder blades together toward the spine. Spin your inner thighs back. Reach the left leg up to the sky. Whoops, I'm doing my right. Lift the left leg. Swing it through. Come into deep lunge here. Move your hips side to side. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, hug your shoulder blades together. Lift the heart, raise the arms to the sky. Open the heart. Even look up to the sky. Opening the heart full of gratitude. And exhale, release the hands down. Step back to plank position. So top of a push-up. Lift the inner thighs. Scoop the tail. Long side body. Shoulders toward the sky. Bend the elbows. Lowering down to the belly. Untuck your toes and walk your feet out. Shoulders up and away from the floor here. This might be your posture. Dragging the hands back, maybe you lift a little higher. Engaging a little more, maybe you lift a little higher. Press the tops of your feet down. Curling the shoulder blades back. And release. Push up to down dog. And this time reach the right leg up to the sky. Swing the right foot up between your hands. Move your hips side to side here. And then coming to center, drop the back knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Hug the arms together. Tuck the shoulder blades in behind the heart so the heart can open and lift up toward the sky. So where we're going here is a lot of that same curling action. I'll show you here in a moment. Release your hands down, straighten your back leg, come forward, forward fold. Inhale, both arms up, offering your heart back up toward the sky, reaching up and then bringing the hands together, placing the hands at the heart, thumbs into the sternum and the sternum back into the thumbs. Feeling yourself grounded here. If you feel yourself more on one foot than the other, allow your body to find its natural balance here. Inhale again, now reach the arms up to the sky, coming back down to a forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up, and exhale, release down. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, release down. Step back to plank position. Lift the inner thighs, scoop the tailbone, bending the elbows, lowering down. Untuck the toes, come into your cobra, tucking the elbows by your side, elbows are bent. And then come down onto your left forearm. Reach back around and find your right foot. Walk your knees together. Bend the elbow up toward the sky. Bring your heel towards your bottom. And then press down through the right knee and scoop the tailbone. You can even look over your left shoulder for a little more challenge. Whew. Yeah, how's that feel? If you're tight, I've been doing a lot of hiking, so I think my quads are really tight, but that feels like a nice release. That's going to give me some freedom in my low back. Good. And sometimes you don't even know that you're tight until you explore, right? So this is the exploration and the antidote for that tightness if you find it. So we're on to the other side now. Right forearm, left hand reaches back. Bend, walk the knees together. Then bend the left elbow, bring the left heel toward the bottom, and then press down through the left. I'm trying to move that shoulder up and away from the floor. See if you can do a little better job maybe than I am. Well, I guess I'm doing okay. This would be pointing toward the floor. This is up and away from the floor. Just that I can see the head of the arm bone. Okay, pressing down through the left knee, scooping the tailbone, and turning over the right shoulder, staying with the breath here, taking that breath all the way in to the front of the thigh. One more deep breath in, and exhale. Release that. Bring your hands next to the chest. Let's come up to downward facing dog. And then take the right leg up to the sky. Bring the knee up to the right wrist. Walk the left leg back. We're going to come into pigeon here. So if pigeon is not your pigeon prep, if this is not your pose, remember you can always lay on your back and do that figure four. So let me show you what that looks like real quick, right? Same general idea. Notice how this is very similar to this, right? So the back toes here though are curled under, heel is pressing in toward the midline. And then if your hips are really open, you can bring that foot parallel to the front of your mat. But really, you have to know yourself and know that that's really a true statement, that your hips are open. Otherwise, at a diagonal here, pressing the toes into the earth, lift the hips, flare the right hip back, left hip forward, and extend the spine, releasing and reaching the heart, I should say. Keeping all of that, if you can come down onto your forearms, or again, stacking the arms, resting the forehead, always using a block as an option, placing it right under your head, or just bringing the forehead to the earth. Lift your right cheek, flare it out to the right, right hip back, left hip forward. Finding your position there where you can keep a steady breath, where you're not really overreaching to get to the floor with the forehead. That's not necessary. You can just use your hands or your forearms. One more deep breath in. Exhale. This time I want you to inhale, scissor your legs together. It's going to be a really subtle movement, so you're not going to be able to see me doing it, but you may be able to feel it for you. So we're going to create that strength by hugging together and then extending the legs out. And try that one more time. Inhale, hug in, and exhale, separate your legs apart, your knees apart. And release your forehead one more time here, relaxing. We're holding the integrity of the pose, but we're not over efforting. So it's a little fine line there. Go ahead and walk yourself up. And let's reach back to down dog. Notice here the difference between your right and left side. I know it's kind of a joke. I always bring the awareness to that when we've done one side and not the other. But that's really how you gain that sensitivity about what's going on in the body. Who else has ever asked you to do that, right? Except your yoga teacher. Reach the left leg up to the sky. Bring that knee up to the right or to the left wrist. Walk the right leg back. Lift your hips, flare them to the left. Left hip back, right hip forward. Walk yourself forward. Again, reaching the forehead down. Or just remaining up on your elbows if that's your posture. Just own it, right? Know what your limits are. Own the pose. If it's possible to press your toenails down, you can feel that muscle action all the way up the leg, so you can play around with that. Lift the left cheek, flare it to the left cheek back, right hip bone forward. Maybe you can release a little more. Maybe you can walk the right leg back a little more. Bringing the hands to the earth, stepping back to down dog. Now notice what's going on all the way up the legs, up into the hips, hugging the arms together, moving the hips back, and then take a child's pose. Enjoying the breath and feeling those open hips here in child's pose. Curling the toes under, lift up to down dog, and walk yourself forward to forward fold. Reaching all the way up is this expression of that goodness within you, opening the heart. Keep the hands lifted as you step the right leg back. High lunge here, reaching up, lifting the heart. And then swivel the right heel down, come into warrior two. Maybe you separate your feet out a little wider. Bend into the left knee. Lift and open the heart, but draw the shoulder blades together on the back. Bring your left forearm to your left thigh, right arm up and over the ear. Move your hips back, scoop the tailbone. Reach and extend through the right foot and the right hand. And release. Step the back foot forward into forward fold. Reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Step the left leg back into high lunge here. Whew. Find your balance. Broadening your feet apart side to side to give a little broader base of support here if you like. One more deep breath in, settling here. And then open the left foot down perpendicular to the right, coming into Warrior Two. Lifting and opening the heart, but broadening through the collarbones and the shoulder blades together on the back, right? This would be opposite, right? So we long side body, rotate the shoulders back. They call that inner body bright. I think that's a great wording for today's practice. Now bring the right forearm to the right thigh. Left arm can be up to the sky, on the hip, or over the ear. So you've got some options there. Pick what feels good to you. Thighs go back, scoop the tailbone, moving the right knee over toward the little toe side of the foot, and feel free to match your feet so that they're perpendicular. Staying here with the breath. One more deep breath in. Exhaling, stepping your feet together, forward fold. Good, bring your hands to your hips, elbows to the sky. Inhale, lift halfway up. Feel how grounded your feet are, how firm your thighs are. Lift the kneecaps, feel your legs engage, and then push down through the feet. Come to standing. Nice job. Okay, standing on the right foot, left toes curled under, just a little step back here. Take the left palm up and reach it all the way back, and then shift your weight onto your right foot. Right toes are facing forward. And then reach back around, grab the ball of the big toe on the left foot. Kick the hand and the foot together. Reach the right arm forward. Shift your hips back for dancer pose. So notice we've got that opening in the heart, the chest, finding it something soft to gaze at. Good, coming out of that posture when you're ready. And let's go to the other side. Feel the difference between the right and left side, yeah? Feels amazing. Left foot forward, right toes curled under, step back, right palm up, and shifting your weight onto your left foot, reach back around, grab the ball of your right foot, and then left hand forward, shift the hips back. Check in on your gaze. Notice if it's shifting around or if you found something that's not moving, that's pretty specific. And then kicking the foot back into the hand, and the hand resists the foot. Opening the heart, drawing the shoulder blades together on the back. Nice, coming out of that posture, you know you can come out whenever you're ready, right? All right, nice one. Coming into chair here, and then deep squat, moving your heart between your thighs. Coming down onto our bottom, legs straight out in front. Press behind you, allow that to open up the spine and the heart. Staying here or reaching up to the sky and forward. You can grab a hold of the knees, the shins. You can grab a belt if you like. That just brings the feet a little toward you. This time we're going to inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Take the sole of the right foot into the left inseam. Still, now we're moving the hip back and the heel forward. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Bring the soles of the feet together. And imagine now taking the energy from your hip down and out your knees. You can even press into the earth behind you. One more. We can come back to this posture if you'd like that for your relaxation. Now straightening the right, the sole of the left foot is into the right inseam. And I like to move over onto my onto the bent knee, and really extend that flesh back and out. And then now I'm elongating the whole right side. Inhale, lift the head and heart, and exhale, lower. You're bumping up against some tension there. See if you can back off by lifting the head, straightening the spine, and then maybe you don't come down quite so far, or you let the breath determine how far down you go. Good, release. Lower onto the back. Hug the knees into your chest and rock here side to side. Come to the center and then push your knees away and hug them in. Inhale as you push out, and then allow this, when you hug the thighs in, allow that to help you expel the breath. One more time, inhale. Good, and exhale. This time take both knees over to the right. You know, this is a pretty standard spinal twist, right? I love this one. I think, you know, if your knees can't come all the way down, you can always use, I'll show you on this side, you can always use a block or a blanket to let the knees rest on, or you can place that between, and then you're not stretching quite so far, so you can still work on getting that opposite shoulder down, turning and looking over the shoulder, moving the knee away from the armpit. Just notice where you might feel a little stuckness here, and then feel free to support yourself in any way you like. If you need a bigger challenge, obviously you can straighten that bottom leg. That makes the twist deeper. But as you can tell, you wouldn't want to go deeper if the pose is not quite comfortable for you as it is, right? We want to make that pose comfortable. All right, so if you haven't done both sides, please do so. And if you have, and you're ready to come into your Shavasana, remember you can always bring the soles of your feet together. Press the elbows down, palms face up, or you can stretch your legs out. See if you can let go now. So releasing the eyes, softening the eyelids closed, softening the jaw, the base of the tongue. Move down the body and notice if you might be clenching a fist, or your toes, or your hip flexors, or your low back. Move around a little bit and see if you can let go of that tension. And if not, just breathe into it. Give yourself a little bit of slack, a little bit of grace there. Let that grace wash over you. In the midst of the devastation of those 100-mile-an-hour winds in Iowa yesterday. I know many of you that watch are in the midst of the cleanup and still probably without power. So by the time you watch this, I just hope that you're back to a rhythm of your life that isn't so alarming and devastating. So in any position you're in today, just allow the peace and grace to wash over you. Because in this moment, there's nowhere else you need to be. We'll get there in good time. So just stay right here. And let the breath deepen. Bring that breath down to the hands and the feet. Wiggling the hands, wiggling the feet. Making circles one way and the other way. Even alternating, maybe doing the right foot and the left hand, and then the left foot and right hand, and then all of those together. Slowly walking your feet up and coming to rest on your right side for a couple of breaths here before pushing up to a seated position. So as you come to a seated position, or you're always welcome to stay in your restorative position a little bit longer if if that's kind of where you'd like to be today. In either case, you're going to stay in a position that feels comfortable for you, either upright or laying down. And I just want you to stay here and bask in the effort of this class today. The beautiful heart, the open mind, taking time for yourself, using this practice to help unite yourself, mind, and body and spirit. I appreciate you being here with me today. Thank you so much.